I ain't so stuck together. I just worked out, that's why.
Ah, hey y'all. Happy Thursday. We're behind the mic, catching us live. I hope y'all checked out this latest episode. I'm sure y'all like, girl, first of all, let's get into where you at. Don't just be trying to hop into the conversation.
Mhm.
Clearly I'm not out. Looking
Mhm.
gold. So yes, I'm enjoying my time,
Mhm.
balancing vacation,
Mhm.
and I won't call it work because it's not work. It's not work. So it's just like balancing. That's easy how I
Mhm.
always put it. But all the way from Maui, we say hello. And
Yeah.
man, this episode was good. It was good. It was good. So I hope y'all watched it. I don't be remember the name of the title fully
Mhm.
because I just remember the sixth episode.
That's crazy.
I just remember the sixth episode. So I don't know the full name. I can get y'all today. I'll drop the link. Y'all can
Mm.
go to that episode. Half of y'all, that's all you need to hear anyway.
Mhm.
But it was good.
What you love about it?
So, a couple of things.
Mhm.
So, one of the things that I really enjoyed about the episode, I'm not gonna tell y'all too much for those of you who may not have watched it. I mean, listen to it just yet. But Jared gets into like breaking down humanity, our sexuality, how it's in conjunction with God, the trilogy. Like, is this whole spiritual awakening where you really start thinking about it from like a very different space, than where
Mhm.
we've heard intimacy or sex. And they're not the same. So start with that. So, but thinking about them differently. And so just the way that he broke that down in the episode, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone explain it like this, quite honestly.
Mm.
Although it is one of my favorite topics. Um, I've never heard it. I've never heard it taught this way. And I
Mhm.
think it's also the other reason it's one of my favorite episodes is because it's one of those topics that, like, in the Christian faith, we kind of like skirt around it. You know what I'm saying? We'd be like, oh, what is that again?
Mhm.
Like, we can't hear this
Mhm.
talk about that. And I'd be like, take me through there.
Mhm.
I want to talk about it though, because the
Mhm.
people of God need to talk about it. So I
Mm.
really love that we're having this conversation. Thank you for getting this water with me, this risky water. Yeah, I like a little risk sometimes. So
What makes it risky is the question.
Ooh,
It's because it's vulnerable?
yeah, and
It
it's intimate. It's
Mhm.
vulnerable. It's intimate. And I feel
Mhm.
like leading up to the episode, we've been doing intimate themes. So,
Mhm.
like the Bible study was I'll say that last episode, our last session. That
Yeah, it
was
was dope.
intimate.
Yeah, it was
Like my
amazing.
mom reading and like the breakdown of understanding the prayer room and like everybody walked away feeling like very euphoric. It was given spa, it was given prostrate on the ground, it was given laid out energy. Okay, you just want to just lay out in your
Mhm.
closet.
Mhm.
And just gentle, like just really good gentle energy. So
Mhm.
leading up to us talking about the episode, us recording the episode, as
Mhm.
well, I just felt like it just put me in one of those, y'all Jared gonna be laughing on me, but like, like that soft air, like it to me is real. That's real soft light. Like
Mhm.
when you have like this, I don't know, gentle touch with the Lord. It's just be like,
Mm. Mhm.
oh, like
Mhm.
it's be giving like okay, that's my feedback.
I'm cracking. That's hilarious. That's funny. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. As every episode is it's so much fun to just dive into the mystery of what's going to be unveiled, what we're going to share, what's God speaking to us while we're sharing it with you, and all those things just coming into the light. This is probably like um, a conversation that I've really enjoyed because it's a part of my journey with
Mm,
God, not like sex from this place of like and it's something that like didn't come from like this convicted place where I felt like I was like living in sin. It was like out of curiosity. I was like, God, if you made me and every part of me that you made and every expression of me comes from you,
Mm-hmm.
then why don't you tell me who I am in my sexuality?
Mm.
Why don't you tell me how I was made to express my sexuality?
Yeah.
What did you have in mind? What artistry did you see being on display as human and to be in sex with someone? And God just started sharing to me where his idea that he brought to life was found. And and I saw it in the Trinity and how they were so intimately woven together and there was no separation and the intimate knowledge that they had of each other. They knew all of them know each other um to the ends of who they are and there's no end to them. And so they're forever so intertwined. They're so bound. They're so interweaved. They're so one. They're so connected. They're so always on the same page. They're in this wavelength that cannot be broken. It cannot be threatened. It cannot be it can't be torn. There's no trauma to it. There and I'm just like and they desired human to experience the oneness that they share with one another through us sharing it with each other to
Mm.
see and experience physically and internally the substance of what they're experiencing with themselves in their form and ever since I discovered that it became very easy to discern what it looked like to navigate it because I was in design and I
Mm.
wasn't trying to depend on the world to tell me how to be in the expression of an image that they didn't make me from. And I think we can go into that from there.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think we should. As you were talking
Mhm,
about it, though, it made me think about was that I feel like it was last week, and you were talking about human design,
mhm,
right? And I was like, what does that look like?
mhm, mhm,
And then you kind of started to lead us into that. So I think we
mhm,
should go there because
mhm,
that's a really important part, if not the most important part of
mhm,
like having the correct foundation, so that way we can like build upon that.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and then have like a right view of this. And I think that's the other thing that I love about this episode is
mhm,
that it's correcting the lenses.
mhm, mhm. It's so important. Well, I think like the first place to start is like we so everything that I teach and try to share or try to encourage always comes from foundation, right? So we have to have the origin to know where to start,
Right.
okay? So when it comes to our sexuality, if 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 we believe that we are gods, not like gods, like we think we're
Mm-hmm.
gods, like I'm talking about in his possession. If we think we come from him, if you believe that you are made from the image of God, then everything that you are and the expression of can only be informed from him who you are the image of.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why when it comes to sexuality, for some reason we have this disconnect that every other area God is in but this. And he's like, all right, when y'all close the bedroom, that's between y'all as long as that's your spouse. And then we think that that scripture was that like there's no like defilement in a
Correct.
marital bed. We
Mm-hmm.
actually don't interpret that correctly. We
Mm.
think because you're married, you could just be as nasty as you want. Is this like was my spouse? And that's not what that means. You can still be married to your spouse
Yeah.
and have a heart of perversion towards your spouse.
Let's go there.
You can still have a spouse and still have an idolatry and have an addiction and have issues in the heart of how you translate sex with your partner, because if that image isn't aligned with God's image of how the Trinity is aligned and how they express intimacy, then it's not in a right way. And so we've been told that matrimony is what purifies the sex. And I wouldn't fully agree with that, which is like a really strong opinion that most
Mhm.
people would say, well, if I'm married, whatever. I'm not saying that being married to someone isn't an expression of loving someone from a purity that I'm laying myself down for this person. But when you start entering somebody from a bodily and sexual form, God has a way in which he desires for that to be expressed. Because remember, when the scripture says, for it is not that a man loves his wife, that he loves his own body, that is not the mystery of marriage.
Mhm.
And Paul is like telling us that, like, we think this bodily thing that we get to do in marriage is like the mystery that unveils it. And I'm not saying it's not pleasurable. I'm not saying it's not enjoyable. It's not saying that we can't have delight in that, because that's what it's made for, to taste and see that it's good, what God has designed us to experience with a partner. But it's not the mystery. And we've made that the mystery of marriage.
Mm. So
And
what do you mean by the mystery?
so the mystery is when somebody sees something that has been formed,
Mm-hmm.
how does how does how do I see it as it is intended? Okay. So the mystery of a man and woman coming together in marriage is that the invisibility of the Trinity being formed as one, right? They're all bound together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when a man and woman become one, they're revealing the mystery of us being bound with God and the Trinity forever. That's the mystery of marriage, right? So that's like a phenomena. It's a revelation that comes forth where people who can't see God because he's invisible, he's not in visible form, they can see the visibility through man and woman coming into oneness in marriage. That's the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I make my marriage about the sexuality and the adventuring of the sexuality, and there's no limitation on the sexuality, then what I've done is I've made the mystery exalt myself in my human ability of the expression of my sexuality with my partner, and it doesn't reveal the thing that it was made to reveal.
Mm.
So we say, okay, this is what the church says. You should wait till marriage because it's a holy thing, because we're believers. You should be abstaining so that you should please God, all these things, so he can bless your marriage, so that he can bless your sexuality, all these things, right? Well, if abstinence is based on that, then the marriage is never going to reveal the mystery, because the thing that gets us to marriage isn't about the mystery, it's about the body.
Mm.
And in the human body was never made to be glorified.
Yeah.
You see how we get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We abstain because to be formed into oneness with someone means that I'm revealing the Trinity as we become one. But if I know my intent isn't from this confounding love, if my desire to become one and to explore and adventure and to be in this, like you said, euphoric state with this person, while I'm bringing all of myself into them and they're bringing all of themselves into me, then John 15 can't come to light, where it says, he who abides in me and I will abide in them. That's what's revealed in the mystery. So I abstain because I want to unveil the mystery of the Trinity coming to light. That when me and my spouse come together in a form of oneness and we discuss our sexuality, it gives an invitation to see how God the Father and the Son and the Spirit are all formed into that same oneness. And our bodies are illustrating the artwork of that in which they are in their invisibility. And so faith says we walk by what, but not by what? Sight, right?
So,
And it talks about a substance. Well, what is the substance of faith if I can't see it? Well, the substance of that faith is the Trinity being formed into a fellowship that caused itself to react to creating something to have a physical evidence of what they've been in invisibly. So when you see man and woman become one, it's revealing the invisible thing that they're in the Trinity. That's why
Okay, so
marriage is so powerful. Go ahead.
because I think what you're saying is super powerful, and
Yes.
this is what my heart heard you say, and I want to make sure that we're in alignment with it, because I'm having these like revelations as I'm sitting here listening to
Yes.
you,
Yes.
and so now it makes sense of why, because I think either it was our episode or on our live, I read on here with us around about like why sex is such a binding connection, and about also having total knowledge, right? So what you're sharing with us is about us having this knowledge, because how else can we come into this experience if we're not seeing this thing right?
Yeah.
So, and the only way to have total knowledge is to communicate.
Is to communicate.
And so if we're not communicating, then our connection is going to be off. And so instead of us having this really amazing moment where it's not about the performance,
right,
as much as it is about the unveiling.
The unveiling. Yes. You just triggered something powerful. I love when you get it and then you digest it, and then what comes out of you is the key to the next door. Okay. So now,
not scripted.
And that's what's so beautiful about this, y'all. This is why it's like so God-led and God-filled. So let's go from the performance to the unveiling.
Okay.
We perform based on what is revealed.
Come on, Jer.
So first practical. If you are a married person, partnered person, married person, and you are in a sexual relationship, the first question I would ask is, how do you see me?
Y'all write that down. That is really interesting.
How you see me will reveal how you'll be to me. Right? I perform based on what I see. So if I chose you and choosing you is about your appearance, then I will only be able to connect with your appearance in the intimacy.
This is good. I'm listening, but I'm having a moment at the same time, so I'm trying to be present. This is so good.
If I see your ability to serve me, then service will be how I will perform. If I see you from how you show up for me, then comfort will be how I be to you. But if I see you as God sees you, then all of me will lay myself down instead of just parts. We're seeing people in part instead of in fullness, which is why we're trying to reach for fullness in sexuality that we can't receive because we don't see the person fully. And the only person who can reveal the fullness of a person is God, because he's the only person that knows them fully.
Okay, so then let's go there, because this is just like, I feel like my skin is like
let's go. Yeah.
So this is so good. Okay. So one of those things is us spending time with God and asking him, not just well, me saying to you, how do you see me? But God, what do you see in that person?
What do you see?
How do you care for them? You know, I remember a season when I would have to ask God, like, how I send a message. God, what I'm supposed to, how do I say what I want? This is what I want to say. How do you see it? Or what do you think about the person? Do you see them that way too? Well, this is what I see. Is that in alignment with what you're seeing? And that's I've only had that experience one time in my life where I felt like I really had to handle this with care.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I want to care for this person the way you care for them. I don't want to care for them the way I think like they would like to be cared for. And I think a lot of times for women, we do that. Like we try to do what grandmama them did, right? Cook and clean and you know, all of these things that we think creates connection when it just kind of cultivates environment, right? The house smells good. It just cultivates environment. It doesn't necessarily mean like you're connected to this person, right? They was just hungry, so they ate with you. It doesn't mean anything in real time. And so I think that is also a part that when we really want to see people and experience people in a way that like reveals God, you gotta go to him about it. And then like when he gives you the plan, when he give you the play, trust me, you be knowing it ain't you. Because you don't even talk like that. And let's start there. You don't even think like that. And then to me, it deepens that connection so much more.
Yeah. And that's really beautiful, Lauren. And so when you go to God and God is the author of everything, not just a plan, like we have so reduced and all the attributes that God says that he is, and all the abilities that he says that he has, we only believe in those abilities according to the section of our life that we think it needs to be applied. But everything that God says he is, creator, author, finisher, counselor, alpha, he's that in every aspect of human experience. It's not sectionalized. So we've compartmentalized and minimized the fullness of God, and then we've minimized the fullness into sectionalism and wonder why we can't see things as he fully sees it, right? So
or experience it, right? Should be fully experienced.
So the question that I want to ask you, why is God so in love with the human body?
I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say because he made it. And he made it in his image and in his likeness. And because it's his masterpiece. It's like his hand of work of art. You know, you get really excited when you're the one who painted the picture. It's like your work of art. Yes. And so that would be my response.
Okay. I love all those responses, and I couldn't agree more. The response that I would have when the Holy Spirit was just asking me this, he was like, Jair, ask why you think I'm in love with the body. I was like, okay, can I ask? And he said, I'm in love with the body because it is the physical vehicle that I put myself in to make what I am invisible in visible.
Now he brought it down to your understanding.
So let's tap into the intimacy in the romance and euphoria of that.
Yeah.
I am so filled with so much good and love and so much that I want to empty myself out on. But what good is it if they can't experience and see it? So I want to be so evidential. I want to be so proven. I want you to be so persuaded that I am who I say that I am.
Come on, now he want to be believed.
Put myself in physical form so you can fully know what it's like to experience me as I say that I am. That's what sex is.
Yeah.
When we are in our nakedness and unashamed, I am pouring out the evidence in the fullness of all that I have declared that I am to you. And it is me servicing you with all that I say that I am. So we're literally depicting why God desires to put himself in a body so that that which is invisible can become visible. When when you guys write down your list of how you want love to be,
Yeah.
and you guys are thinking of a life with goals or whatever, well, it's an invisible thing. You can visualize it, but it hasn't been made manifest yet because it's not in physical form. Well, that's what sex is. Sex is taking what we have visualized, oneness and closeness and connection, and to be seen and heard and understood, and then God manifested in a body, and then he empties it all out. If sex was just meant to just be the body, then why is it not enough to hold together a relationship? That's how you know it's not just made for the body.
Exactly, which is why we be having body counts. You see what I'm saying?
Right?
That's why we be having body counts, because it's not made for the body.
Okay, so let's go to the depth of that. The reason why we have body counts, and it's not to shame anybody.
Absolutely
The reason
not.
why most people have body counts is because they're longing for the substance that they can't find in the body.
Correct.
And if you don't have God with the person that's in the body to pour out the substance, then the sex can only be experienced in the body, and you'll never get the substance you're longing for. So when I hear people have body counts, it's people longing for something that they can't find only in the body.
Well, and it's also them, it's also them trying to solve for the disconnection. Right. And it's like I want connection, but I don't want all of what it takes to have true connection. So like, let me get the knockoff.
Right.
Let me just get the knockoff, and I'm just knock him off, and that's gonna be that, because I can't have that. And it's why one of the things that I truly believe of what really creates such a firm foundation in relationships is the friendship piece, because that's where the communication happens, the connection happens, the intimacy happens, and that's where where what is in your heart is revealed versus what's in my heart is being revealed. And then that's how we get to put the pieces together of the puzzle. And then we start putting our puzzle together. It's hard when we just try to empty out the box and just hope all the pieces are there to put the puzzle together. That's hard. And so oftentimes what we start doing is we start putting it together, and then it's like, this is a little too complicated for me.
So what you're saying is so beautiful. And I want to expand it, because what you're revealing is so big.
Please do.
Whenever you hear somebody conditionalizing or conditioning or disqualifying certain parts of people that they will never accept, it lets you know their inability to have friendship and intimacy. Friendship and intimacy is where we qualify all of the person and what they come with. This is how we know this. Jesus said, if you were truly my servants, then you would not know what the master has told me. But because I call you my friend, everything that the Father has told me, I have told you. To have the safe space of full transparency is where friendship is born and friendship is sustained. That friendship is what brings over the safety into the sexual experience.
Correct.
So most people are having sex with their partner, but they're not having sex with the layers of the partner, which is why they can't experience the fullness once again. So when God is intimate with you, he's not just, Lauren, I'm in you and you're in me. I don't just see you as daughter. You're my friend. You're my co-heir. You're my cohabiter. You're the ones that I bear all my secrets to, right? You are in every layer of relationship with God, as the Trinity is with him as well. You've inherited all of it. So as he is in the comfort with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is declaring what the Father, as they're all in that, you're all in that. And then we're supposed to be the representation of that with one another. So what you're saying is so beautiful, because whenever people start disqualifying what they can't accept about a person, it lets you know that they can't bring safety or friendship into relationship, because the friendship is where all of you is safe. That's what makes the person a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we have carnalized sex, which is what the majority of people know. Even spiritual people, they have carnalized sex.
Yeah.
They have sex based on how holy they are, how pure they are. It's all about performance, what you can do, what you're proving. Have you been this? Do you know some of the most healing things you can have? And I'll say this as a vulnerable place. I have had partnership with a few experienced people where, because of what I came to know and why I hold it so sacred now, is that there was me seeing them as they are, not to get the entrance into a sexual place, but seeing that they weren't ready for a sexual place, and I met them there. And because I met them there, they had a moment of healing and freedom from pain because they couldn't find substance with people that they were sharing their bodies with before. And that which are there they were searching for, I met them in without having to give them my body.
Yeah.
When we see people, we can discern what they're longing for. And we don't put our longing for them over what they're longing for in their heart.
Yeah.
And I know, I'm like, oh, you're looking for a substance. Well, the only way you can get that is the God in me wants to introduce himself to the lack in you. And the thing you're looking for isn't me, it's him who is in me.
Yeah.
So I can give you my body and I can give you a very beautiful sexual experience and make you feel seen and make you feel loved, but it's not going to give you the substance.
No.
And so what we're trying to do is we're even using sex to try to carnalize God to be something that only God can be for them.
So it's almost like giving somebody food, but they still don't have fulfillment.
It doesn't satisfy.
Correct.
Right?
30 minutes later, still hungry.
it doesn't satisfy. And so what happens, so what I'm saying is that friendship is such a beautiful piece because it introduces the safety that is required in the sexual experience. Correct. If I can accept all of you before I enter the bedroom with you, then you shouldn't be able to have all of me when I'm in the bedroom with you. But most people are having sexual encounters with unsafe people because all of themselves is not accepted.
Correct. And marriage doesn't make it all accepted.
It does not.
Like, marriage doesn't make it all accepted.
Listen,
because most times that's who you're the most shameful with, not shameless with.
We have demonized marriage. I still don't think that we've understood what marriage really is, especially in the church.
Correct.
I think we are the furthest from it in the world. I really mean it. Because we have carnalized, religiousized, and traditionalized something that has none of those components and where all of it is found. God would never teach any of the things of the majority of the things that marital pastors and teachers teach. He would never teach it. In fact, when you look in scripture, you don't even see God talking that much about it. Why do you think that is? Well, the reason why that is,
someone is idolizing it.
Well, not just idolizing it, but he realizes that the thing that causes a person to be drawn to another is found in when you see God drawn onto you. It's in him where marriage is found.
Yeah.
You can teach all the traditional things about it all you want. If you do not see God, if you do not see the Son as your bridegroom king, if you do not see yourself already betrothed, if you don't see yourself in those rooms that we read about in that book on Thursdays, if you don't see yourself in that mantle of love with God, it don't matter how holy you think you are when you choose somebody. It will always be wrong in God's eyes because you're not looking on to him for the love you're already in with him to be able to express it to another person. And Christianity is not what you're expressing to another person. You're expressing the love that you're in with God. And people are giving each other religious exchange and wonder why they still struggle in their intimacy and marriage. It's got nothing to do with you following all the rules or being right and having all this godly character. if you're not in the experience of the love affair with God, if you are not smelling his aroma daily and knowing what he thinks and believes about you, if you don't have the right perspective of how the Father feels about you, you cannot look at your spouse and look at their body and see that that's a place where God is resting and I want to treat it with care.
Correct.
You will defile them.
Yes.
And you will treat them as an object instead of seeing the resting place of God's home and presence. If I know that God is living in something, I'm going to make sure that I care for that place the way that he cares for me.
Yes. And I'm going to go to him about everything that's concerning it because of how much I care for it. As you were talking, this came up for me. Most of us, you asked me earlier about like, what did you ask me about? Like something about God want to be human or human in us. It was something to that effect. You asked me earlier in this conversation. And I said something around like his masterpiece. He sees us as the thing that he put together. So man also acts that way too with people. Mm-hmm. We like to be with people that we can put together. Mm-hmm. And that we're always looking for their missing parts. So that way we can be the one that constructs them, and that we can be the one that fixes them and that heals them and that molds them and that does all of these things, right? So when we meet people, oh, this is so good, because I've only had this experience once and it has been absolutely amazing, because I can remember being a fixer. Mm-hmm. And so it was always like, okay, so what's broken? Let's fix that. How do we provide a solution for this? How do we fix this, right? And then I remember having this encounter where it was like, oh, wait, this came already fully assembled, batteries included. Oh, I don't need to be trying to fix that. Like, I don't need to put this together. You need to tell me this gift is on my front door and it don't need me to put together anything, because you think about it, the instructions are always bigger than the tag. Mm-hmm. The instructions are always bigger than the tag. The tag is small. The instructions are big. And you got pages and pages and pages of like how it's made, how many bolts are in here, blah, 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 blah. Right now we didn't got so upgraded. We got a little QR code. You can scan and see a video of how to put it together. And so that's how we treat people as well. We're trying to figure out how to put them together. But there's something intimate that happens when you start asking God things like, how do I care for them? Mm-hmm. Because caring is what sustains the relationship. Mm-hmm. Putting them together, construction and caring, not the same things. So when we're looking at maintaining and sustaining relationships with God and with people and with partner, you've got to know how to care for them. You've got to know that maybe they're hand wash. Maybe they are, you only wash them delicate on cold. Some people are dry clean only. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't no washing them in the machine. And like, and being able to, understand people from that space, it for those of us who have suffered with controlling things, this is like one of those very take your hands off of it moments. And then you just have to sit with the one that created it and say, okay, so how do I care for it? How often does the tires need to be rotated? How often do I need to get the oil change? How often do I? So now the questions around your system, your cycle, your process. It's not around constructing and preparing and performing and saying, this is what I put together and this is what I know. And oftentimes too, when you're caring for a person, it also makes you have to go against your natural inclination. So no, you can't just go off on the person. Now you got to go with God. Can you give me instructions on whenever something's out of place? How do I correct them in love? How do they receive challenge? How do they handle and navigate when things are not necessarily going the way that they want? How do I still show up for them when I don't really want to? How do I see? These are some really different conversations that oftentimes we don't get to because we're so excited about putting them together and constructing them that we'll construct them and then we stop caring.
It's good. That's good, Lauren. You're talking real good.
It's based on a true story. This is
based on a true story.
It's based on a true story.
And And sex will always be the hidden mask for um where resentment is trying to be emptied
Yeah.
on your partner, because it's the only space where you know how to communicate, because you don't know how to communicate in the other areas of the relationship, because you don't have friendship and you don't have a binding with the person where all of you is safe or free to be as you are. And so we use sex to express the resentment. So if you wonder why your partner is always aggressive and always handling you with a form of what we would call strength, or strong arming you, and all of your positions are never frontal or never facial or never from a space where you're eye to eye, or never where you're smelling the pheromones of this person in areas like, those are signs that a person is disconnected from you. And we
That's
have
good.
normalized sexual expression that is actually forming deep disconnection. And we have, and it's interesting, and I've had conversations with women when I was dating, and was like, I would ask them about what they believed about sex, because I want to know what you believe before I choose you.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of women who are very comfortable with the man forming a sense of abuse in a room, because they like the sense of being controlled, and they don't articulate that it's actually a form of abuse.
Mm.
And they think that abuse is sexual. They think being mishandled is sexual. They think being choked, they think being grabbed hard, they think being really bitten hard, and someone being able to put you in pain, somehow you think that that's a form of love. That is
Mm.
that is perverse.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
not.
not a sense of judgment. I'm just letting you know, I don't see that in the Trinity of how they're interacting with each other.
Yeah.
So if it ain't in them, and all of me and the expression of me is made from what they're expressing with one another, then I know what it is not right. And it's not from a space of judgment. It's to bring us into an acknowledgement of asking the question, well, who did I learn this from?
Yeah.
Because I didn't get it from God, and He's the author and creator of how sex should be. And so when we start getting to the curiosity of our history of how we've shown up in sex, what we have found enjoyable to sex, what we have projected onto others, and we talk about soul ties and all these bounding things that we talk about. Well, the thing that is most terrifying is when somebody shows up and they're walking in an image that's not of God in the sexual place for you.
Yeah.
And then I'll even say this: I don't care who it is that I'm dating. Have you talked to God about what it looks like to be intimate? And if
Yeah.
you haven't had that conversation with God, I would start to get concerned and say, well, where have you learned it from? Who told you that, right? Just like who told you you
Who
was
told you?
naked? And
Correct.
so a lot of our
Now you
sex
got the
life
shame.
has been formed around the wrong person telling you about something that they didn't make.
Yeah.
Our biggest disconnection in everything in life is all around having somebody who didn't create something, create the thing that you're experiencing, telling you how to do it. I'm
Mm.
going to say it one more time.
That's good.
Our biggest disconnection concerning everything called life as human is found with us believing what someone else is telling us to do about the thing they didn't create. We are so reliant on everybody else's opinion, declaration, and how they've succeeded in something, how well they've done in something, the results of all this. Like I'm gonna go off tangent, but like we were going in one of our podcasts and we were talking about triggers. And I said, anything that does not come from eternal mindset triggers me. It's not a righteous statement. It's that I'm one with him.
Yeah.
If I'm one with him, and the Bible says, for those who have the Spirit, think about eternal things. And when you're talking to me, and it ain't sounding like it's coming from an eternal place, because I know what it's like to be with an immortal person. An immortal person has a language that they talk, and it's God. And if
Yeah.
you're talking about something that doesn't sound like that, I get triggered. Well, we should start normalizing these things of asking
Correct.
ourselves the practical question, who told me this was the way to be?
Yeah.
God is, Eternally, is this what you see sex to be? When you made Adam and Eve and you told us to have dominion and you saw us having a earth in heaven filled with babies that you get to be the God of. Did you see us abusing each other sexually and calling it passion? And if you did, where do I see that in you? Because I have to see it in you in order to know that it's true for me to do. Jesus said, I only do what I see the Father doing. So where do we see God being that way to us? Where do you see Jesus being that way to us? So when we come to our sexuality, it's the place I have to be the most curious, because it's the one act that I'm actually giving my body to.
Yeah.
And it's the place where God dwells. So I can't play with it. I can't just show up and be in interaction with you and an engagement with you. If you don't have the same God in you, then we're not communing.
No.
We're not in true intimacy.
And and so that we'll never have the enjoyment of it either. It'll just be
not the full. You'll have pleasure, but you won't know what full enjoyment is. And pleasure and enjoyment and delight are two different things. Like to be pleased by sex is body.
Correct.
To have enjoyment comes from the internal experience that I'm having with the person that expresses itself through the body. To say that I enjoy sex is to say I enjoy my person.
Yeah.
If I say that I enjoy sex, but don't enjoy the people I'm sexual with, that I don't have an enjoyment of sex. I have a lust of it.
Correct.
And we don't know the difference between the two, because it's easy for you to get off doesn't mean that you actually enjoy sex. Just because you're just because you have a climax, just because your body has a result from doing A, B, and C doesn't mean that you're actually in enjoyment for sex. So many people have trained and programmed their bodies to respond to sex as the only way to actually exert and express hidden things in them.
But I've had women to say that the only time that they felt their spouse be vulnerable or even show a different side of them that was not aggressive is during sex. And I'm like, that is wild. Like, what you mean? So this person, no other time, can be able to express themselves in a way that's not like yellow like DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like this, there's no other time of that. How, Sway?
But we've normalized the world's version of sex, and then we're Christian until we get married, and then we go back to worldly sex. We want a godly person only to have worldly sex with them.
Yeah.
I might as well just did it outside of the marriage. What was the point of waiting for? It's profited you nothing.
Nothing.
I'm so serious. I'm like, you could have been getting yourself broke down without the requirement of this.
Yeah.
You did all that waiting, all that praying, all that fasting, all these things that you say that you did, that God told you, whatever, to get to here, only to be doing what the world does. But you get mad if a person wants to have sex with you. That ain't my husband. That ain't my wife. They put me in predicaments. Okay, cool. No argument. But then you get somebody who waits only to do what the guy who wanted to do with you before, or the girl who, if you're gonna abstain and come into the fullness.
Correct.
Don't abstain so you can now have insurance over your perversion.
Not insurance. Stay for.
I'm just saying, man. So like we know nothing about sexuality. We have been taught to preserve ourselves for it, but we haven't been taught how to do it. And just because we're adults, and just because we have body counts, and just because we have history, doesn't mean you know what you're doing. Just because you figured out how to trigger your body into a positive response towards sex doesn't mean that you actually have the understanding of the image of sex. Those are not the same. It's not the same.
This is so good.
All right, I'll stop.
No,
I'll stop.
Mr. We ain't going out. on today.
This is just the live. We haven't even recorded. I feel like the live and the recording is probably one now, but you know, yeah,
This is good.
yeah. It's great. It's a
Any
great
final
episode.
thoughts you want to share?
Man,
Because you
ask
gave some
God.
practicals in it.
Yeah, ask God, God, how do you see me? How do I see you? How do I see you, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit in intimacy and oneness? When you guys give yourselves over, what does that look like? What does that submission look like? And as you show me what it looks like for y'all to submit to one another, and then you show me how you submit to me, God, I pray that you would show me how to submit to my partner in this way that unveils the mystery that comes to the unveiling of us practicing what you're in.
Mm.
God, may you be the model of what sex is supposed to look like for me and my partner. May we invite your curiosity. May we invite your feedback. May we ask you, if you dwell in us, what's it like for you to be on the inside, to see us inside of each other? Does it look like the way that you dreamt it and drew it up to be? Or does this look like somebody else's drawings and somebody else's art that they made?
Come on.
Can God have a say in your bedroom? I'm not trying to talk about religious things. I'm saying, does it look like love to him? He's the qualifier.
Yeah.
So when we add these practical curiosities, what happens is we get to allow God to invite us into a space that we didn't even know was imaginable. It's just like the sea, right? The sea, there's so many mileages of the sea that has never been discovered by man. Well, that's what it is in intimacy and sex.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we have not even tapped into, because the one who is the God of that which is hidden, we've never gone to him to see what is hidden. So I would encourage those prompts and those practical questions to start coming out in your relationship, your marriage, and your time with God, to start to activate and animate what the oneness in them looks like in us. And that's what I would encourage people to do.
That's good.
Anything for you?
I was about to say something funny.
Go
We were
ahead.
talking about
Be
the
you.
ocean.
Be you.
We was talking about the ocean. All I kept thinking was, that's because some of us just be out here doing what TLC said. Don't be chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers, lakes, and I'm gonna add pools that you used to.
Yeah, you stupid. You are so dumb. I'm so dead.
So that's why we're enjoying the depths of the ocean, Jared. We out here trying to just let me see what the pool. I know the pool 4.5 feet. So I know I can stand up in this. And that's
Remember,
it. I'm not even trying to see what the ocean got.
always trying to choose a broader road instead of the one less traveled.
Listen.
I want to know, God, how deep can this go? How deep can we go?
Yeah. How deep
How
is your love?
where is there an end to this? And if there's not, will you take us into the adventure of discovering the infinity of what is possible when we're connected to you, and that connects us together, and that expression of sexuality comes out, and you'll be doing things and seeing things and having things come up inside of you that you didn't even know that you could share with your partner, and you'll see God in it. And I'm gonna tell you something. You can call it religious or Bible banging, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to do anything that doesn't see God in it or doesn't reveal God in it.
Yeah.
Especially with my body that he dwells in. You're welcome here, God. I am not shutting the door on you. You already know everything that's behind a closed door anyway, so might as well bring you into it.
Yeah. Why would we keep you out?
God ain't hiding his face. He's looking at it like that is not what I made. That don't look like anything that we've been in. Yeah. So that's what I got.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, this live. Look, I can't wait to see your comments. Drop the comments, share this live, and feel free to join us. I'll make sure we share the link. Join us in our Oneness Bible study. It is so good. Our next one's coming up. I think it's February the 12th.
Mhm.
Thursday, February the 12th. So
Mhm.
it's going to be really, really good. So come and experience God in a way that you have been dying to. And we'll see you there.
Love y'all. Peace.